Hey everybody, what's up? It's Thursday, and I'm Trey Griggs. This is Standing Out, daily podcast about sales, marketing, leadership, coming to you today from Boston, Massachusetts. Having the opportunity to be at the International Factoring Association annual conference. Going to be speaking today. Very excited about that. So a lot of good things are happening, and so yeah, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. As you might see, we've got some new branding. We got a new logo for the show. Very excited about that. So things are just kind of moving along and progressing nicely with the podcast, which is great. We appreciate you guys joining us for the show, and we've had a great week of shows. We've had a great lineup this week. I just love the people that are willing to come on and tell their stories. The sales and operations director for Beta Consulting Group for my company, Chris Horton, was on Monday. Really great episode with him. So make sure you check that one out. Britton Wesson was on Tuesday. We talked about sales development. Really great guy with JB Hunt down in Northwest Arkansas. Yesterday had a fabulous show with Charlie Safra. She's one of the best with CS Recruiting out of Chicago. Today I get a chance to talk to my good friend Sarah Allen. We'll bring her on shortly. And then tomorrow, we got a big show. We got a huge show with my good friend Chris Jolly, a.k.a. The Freight Coach. Very excited to have him on tomorrow. So make sure you come back tomorrow at 10:30 for that. It's going to be fire. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And everybody, we're getting close to the weekend, which means that we've got our next episode of Iron Minds on Monday morning at 6 a.m. with my good friend Hayden Allred. Get up with us, get a workout in, get inspired, get motivated, get encouraged. We're going to be talking about some upcoming events. Very excited to talk about that. And Jim, congrats on being the first comment today. Thanks for joining the show. Glad to have you on the show. You definitely win. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Dustin getting in there as well as the second to comment. So thanks for watching the show, guys. Really appreciate it. All right. Today, I'm very excited about the show and who's my guest that we're going to have on the show today. I had the chance to meet this woman probably, I don't know, about 12 years ago when I was at DAT, and she was also there doing some channel marketing, got to understand what that was, and just one of the best persons on the planet and really, really great at what she does. I'm excited to talk to her today about channel marketing. So everybody, welcome to the show, my good friend, Sarah Allen. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah,
to be
thanks
here.
for joining the show. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. You know, we've known each other for quite a while. We met, back in the day. I started working at DAT in 2012. I'm not sure when you started working there, but it was about that same time, a little after. Maybe.
It was a long.
Oh, you're there in
long
09.
time.
You're there
Yeah.
before me. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I was just a newbie in sales. That was my first professional sales job, believe it or not.
I know. I think you had been door to door before that, which I was like, wow.
Yes.
I mean, kudos to you. That's amazing. If you can do that, you can do anything.
That's the truth, especially in sales. If you can do door-to-door sales for a year, you can sell just about anything. That experience was really tremendous. But DAT was really great for me in my sales career. They had a really great sales program. They had a lot of processes outlined, which was awesome. But one thing that they also did really well was channel marketing. And I didn't even know what that was. I was like, channel marketing? What is channel? What is it? What are we talking about? I'm thinking TVs. I have no idea, right? Channel marketing. Right. But I got to learn about that from you, just sitting at lunches together, just talking about that and what that, what that entailed. And that was your career. So real quick, before we get started, there's some people that may not know who Sarah Allen is. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you're doing now.
Yeah, so I am a partner. I'm actually a partner account manager at Ruby. So I've been doing channel partnerships for a long time. And I started at DAT, as you mentioned, here in Portland, Oregon, and just really learned a lot under Bert Goo, who's fantastic, and he'd really
phenomenal.
Just
one of the best.
Taught me everything about channel marketing and what it means to build partnerships and all of that. So love doing that. Learned a ton there, and then was at DAT for 13 years, and now I'm at Ruby, working with small businesses and helping small businesses grow with those partnership programs. So loving that. I'm also a mom of 2 little kids, so hence the background. Just in their bedroom, of a 4 and a 6-year-old. So love that. Just love playing with them. Lots of singing and dancing around the house. And that's also an important role to me as well. So that's a little bit about me. And and just kind of seeing where the journey will take me. But I love working with partners. It is so much fun.
Yeah, it's clear. I mean, you had a passion for that, and obviously working for Bert Goo. And we have to give a shout out to Bert Goo, one of the best in the industry. Just love that guy, and he's such a great leader. And that had to make a huge impact on you, working with somebody who was just a phenomenal leader, who really cared about you as a person, much more probably than the job that you did, even though you guys really focused on being excellent in your job.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing too, a lot of it was just life advice too. I think as far as being a leader, it was obviously showing me the ropes and teaching me how to do channel marketing, how to work with partners, and also giving them the freedom, from a leadership perspective and from a managing perspective, just giving me the freedom to try new things and to be creative and just to have ideas
So important.
and just
Gosh,
go
that
with
is so
that. I
important.
think that's a big part of it, is just kind of giving that foundation, but also just to kind of support your employees. And how can I support you and not hold you back? But here,
Yeah.
because to feel free to share your ideas or come up with ideas that might work, might not work, but let's just try it and see. And I think that's also just a good guiding principle in general, and it's kind of what's helped me, and what kind of enables us to create new partner programs and ideas, is just that sort of you know sharing those ideas and bring up my voice when I want to. So
Yeah, that type of leadership is so awesome, but unfortunately, it's not that common. Somebody to be willing to like give you that permission to make mistakes or try new things or whatever it might be, and have that freedom and autonomy. It creates a community of people that are
mhm.
trying new things and not afraid, and working together, communicating well.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Berku on that. And by the way, Jim Bevins wants to know if you nap on the bunk beds behind you.
This is a this is the question that I get all the time now that I'm working remotely and I'm here. Yeah, so this is just my life now, and I don't, but I can.
Well,
When
I definitely, I'm not a napper during the day, but I remember when I had little kids, that there are some times where it's just like, where can I put my head down right now? Where can I crash? And when they lay down for a nap, it's like, yep, pop down, take a little nap as well. So we
for
wouldn't hold
sure,
anything against you if you did that, having a 6 and a 4-year-old, which is a lot of energy, no
appreciate
doubt
it.
about that. Yeah, and of course that's the interesting thing too about the work from home environment, the virtual work environment, is that you start to see a different side of people, right? I mean, seeing the bunk beds, you just assume, okay, you probably have kids, or maybe you babysit kids, or something's going on there, but it just allows us kind of to see each other in different ways, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, and I think it is that sort of connection. It's like people, we're all humans, and we all have our different worlds that we've all kind of, that we're all working through and living in. And I think it really is, and it's a good opener. It's kind of a good, get to know you, and this is who I am, and this is my life.
It is a
And I think
great
that's
way to
really
open a
good.
conversation. Yeah, and the backgrounds now can be whatever they want, right? I've got my guitar usually at home and my golf clubs, because that's kind of who I am.
Right?
Obviously, you're showing off being a mom, and having a family and those types of things. I love it when people intentionally put up some good backgrounds. It creates for really good conversation. I can't tell you how many people are like, "Hey, what kind of guitar is that?" And we can talk about that. And now we've got
Yeah.
a connection. I'm like, "Oh, you play guitar," and we have a connection. So from a sales perspective, from a marketing perspective, it's really fun to have these unique backgrounds that are different than just an office space. I
And I
like that a
have to
lot.
say, yeah, and I do appreciate how just you're sharing a lot of your family with, on LinkedIn, how you're sharing your daughters. I was just I really enjoyed the other day where you're dancing with your daughters. That was wonderful. So I appreciate your just, sharing your family too. And that's been really fun to see too.
I may regret that one, because some people aren't going to get that image out of their head. But
I was
this it's
impressed. They
well,
were pretty good.
I learned that dance that night, and it was really fun. I have a great coach. My daughter's a really great coach. But I think it's just good that we understand that there's more to people than just their job or their title or their business. They have other things going on. I think it just allows us to be more human with each other and have more empathy with each other. Those are all just wonderful things that
Yes.
that I love to communicate. And I learned so much through my kids as well, and they learn through me. And it's like, why don't we put this out there? These life lessons that we're learning, or these things that we're doing, or encouraging. Like, I want to encourage other dads to
Mhm.
be involved in their kids' lives, because sometimes you get in the grind of work, and I do it too. You become workaholics, and you forget that
Right.
there's other things that are really important. I've been thinking about this a lot. Who's going to be there on my deathbed? It's not going to be any of the people I'm working with. It won't be any of the bosses that we have. It won't be the
Mhm.
CEO that we worked for. They're not going to be there. Our kids are going
Right.
to be there. Our spouse might be there if they're still alive. Like, that's who's going to be there when this is all said and done. So why don't we really invest in them now and spend time with them? So I like to put that out there and just
I love
encourage
that.
dads to. And shout out, by the way, real quick, to my good friend Daryl Mathis, who owns the Dads of Girls Apparel Company. If you guys don't know what that is, you should definitely check it out. Dads of Girls Apparel Co.com. And it's all about just encouraging dads to be involved in their daughters' lives. It's cool. So, anyways,
That's
that's
awesome.
a side note for
I
another day.
love
But
that.
led to that. So let's get back to channel marketing for a minute. Let's talk about that a little. But first of all, for maybe somebody who hasn't done channel marketing or doesn't know what channel marketing is, give a real brief explanation of what that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's partnering up with folks who have synergies with your business. So it's really, how can we create a partnership that is mutually beneficial for everybody. And it's kind of that triple win that you want. You want to partner with other organizations, whether it's other companies that have value that you want to bring to your company, or if it's that kind of channel marketing through resellers or through referral companies that you have a lot of synergies with the value that you provide to companies. So it's really partnering up and having that that value that you're providing. So how can first we provide value to our customer, because that's obviously the most important thing, is we want to provide that exceptional customer experience, that value to our end user. But then, what can I provide from a partnership perspective to my partner and vice versa? So how can we all collaborate? And I think there's always, the question of, build versus partner, or what can we do, but to in-house versus, I think bringing in partners can really strengthen what you're doing. And so channel marketing is really bringing in those partnerships to share the value of your company, but also just to have that collaboration and both of you to be there together and to share the value of each of your companies to the end user. So I think it's just a win-win. And I think partnerships are the way to go. I think whenever you have the option of building or buying or partnering, I think building those partnership bridges is really the best part.
Yeah, it can be huge. And, you want to find companies that share similar values with you. I think that's really important. You want to find companies that have some synergies in terms of market alignment. But when you do that, not only do you drive revenue and drive sales, but you also drive brand awareness. I like to think about, for example, like Nike and Apple. Nike and Apple, they've combined together to create the fitness aspect of the Apple Watch, one of the most prolific fitness aspects of that. So they're driving their brand by partnering with Apple to bring a product and a service to the marketplace in a way that's very unique and very clever. And those types of partnerships can be very, very powerful. It makes for more sticky customers. It provides more immense value than just the one alone. And finding those networks is really critical.
Yeah. And I think and just talking about the collaboration piece is, we have our core business. This is what we're really good at. We're not going to take the time to build all these other, we're not going to really bring in all these other services or create all these other services, but we really want to provide more value to our customer. For me, coming from Ruby, we work with small businesses, and it's Small Business Week this week. So we're celebrating small businesses and just the drive and the gumption and just the amazing, the amazing work that small businesses are doing, and how can we support them? Obviously, with us, we offer, the virtual receptionist side and the communication side, but we want to partner with other folks who are working with small businesses, and how can we bring in, how can we collaborate to bring that value? And so that's really the goal, is how can we collaborate and just share each of our strengths.
Yeah, no, that's huge. It's also Teacher Appreciation Week, Small Business Week and Teacher Appreciation Week in the same week. So it's a great week. But no, that's really great. So let me ask you a few questions about kind of the ins and outs of this. So if a company is wanting to create, a partnership, that they're wanting to have a channel marketing program, there's a couple ways that can happen from a revenue standpoint. There's referral fees, there's revenue shares. How would you advise somebody who's just getting started to try to, how would they figure out what's appropriate? What percentage is appropriate, or what makes the most sense? What are some guidelines maybe that you've followed in your career when setting these up to make sure that both parties win, that it truly is a win-win situation?
Right. And I think it really depends on the type of business you have. If it's a purely SaaS company, and it's, I think you have a little bit more flexibility there as far as offering a revenue share. You have some options. If it's a service-based company, we're a human-powered organization at Ruby. It's a little bit trickier, as far as revenue share versus kind of co-marketing, sponsoring opportunities, as well as affiliate opportunities. So really just looking at your service and what you're providing. And what is the lifetime value for your service? And if you have a pure SaaS company, you can do that sort of revenue share percentage base. If you have if you have a human powered program, it might be a little bit, you have some options to work with, but definitely looking at what is the value of providing? If it's not just the revenue share, also there's that educational piece. What sort of other value can we provide? Can we provide you other resources? Can we provide you, content that is super helpful for those for your customers. So I think there's a lot of options there.
Are there some good resources that would be available, or would you be like how would somebody say, who could I ask about this, or who could I have to guide me through this? Are there any books? Are there any consultants or people out
Yeah,
there that need great resources?
and I have to plug this a little bit because we do actually have a great blog article on our website about
Plug it,
affiliate
go for
marketing
it.
and
That's great.
partnerships. So yeah, so on our blog we actually have a great article about what is affiliate marketing? What is it?
What's the address, the internet address for that?
Um, and our website is ruby.com, but if you look at affiliate marketing in our blog, I don't remember the exact URL, but we have a great blog article specifically about how to do affiliate marketing, how to do partner marketing, and all of the different options. So there's so many options as far as how to approach it, and everywhere from doing it very manually to having a partner portal that you can buy, and you can just purchase this tool to make it a lot easier and streamline the process. But there's a lot of things that you have to, keep track of. Obviously, you want to manage all those partner relationships, and you want to be able to, collaborate on ideas with them. You want to be able to track those sales. The operational side is very important. But I would definitely recommend that. It's a great. We did have a great blog article about that, and I think that would be a great way to check it out. Also, definitely reach out to me. I'd love to talk about it too. It's fun to share and talk about.
No, that's awesome. And for everybody who's joining us, we're talking to Sarah Allen with Ruby about channel marketing. Be sure that you follow me on LinkedIn so you can see every time I go live with a guest like Sarah Allen, and subscribe to us on YouTube as well. And thanks for the comments today. Really good to see so much activity in the comments. Graham, good to see you as well. Thanks for joining the show and for your comment as well. So Sarah, let's talk a little bit about the relationship between channel marketing programs, and the sales team and a marketing team, because when we first met, you weren't on the marketing team, you weren't on the sales team. It was kind of separate, but yet you worked with those teams to pull this together. What's that relationship between building channel marketing and channel partnerships as well as with sales and marketing?
Yeah, and it's so different at different organizations. You have marketing and sales, and I feel like where I was kind of partnerships in the middle. And so sometimes the partner world fits in marketing, sometimes it's kind of on its own little island. But I feel like there's sometimes in organizations there's that kind of butting of heads between sales and marketing, and sometimes with partnerships. But I think it doesn't have to be like that. And I think I've seen a huge difference here at Ruby. It's been so fun because we always have stand-ups. Every morning we have a stand-up with all of those teams, and we're sharing where we're coming from, all of our wins, and what we're doing and what we're involved with. So I think that communication is so important, that here's what I'm doing. These are the projects I'm excited about. And like, what are your wins? Here are my wins. Let's celebrate each other. And I think that's really important to just have that collaboration and that ongoing communication, because I think it doesn't have to be that sort of competitive sort of thing. So I think I've seen a really big difference where we're definitely all in this together, and it's a team environment and team support. And so that's been really fun. And I think it's really just about celebrating each other's wins and how can we kind of participate in what we're all doing, and seeing what people need. A big part of partnerships also is just listening and asking, how can I help you? A lot of it is just, I have my ideas that, I'd love to kind of bring to the table, but also just seeing what is it that you're looking for in a partnership, and what can we provide for you? Because we're here, to serve you. We want to be able to, to offer as much value as we can as a partner. But I think that also goes internally too, not just external partners, but I think with your marketing and sales organizations too, is how can I support you from a partnership perspective, both from the marketing side and from sales?
And it allows salespeople to name drop, which is fun.
So
because
true.
Then you can say, hey, we're partnering with ABC company, and they did this for us or whatever. And so it allows for some of that collaboration to name drop and to create that network, which is great. Dustin asks, what's the most important thing you learned between channel and partner marketing?
Well, I think it really is that listening and asking what they need from you, because I think we come in with the idea of what we want to do from a partnership perspective, and I think it's so important to just stop and listen to our partners and ask, what are you needing from me? and getting their feedback, because I think so often, we all have our ideas, and we have to, even though I have ideas all day, I'll just spout them out and it's great. But I also need to stop and listen and ask, what do you want to do? We're open. We want to come up with new ideas. We want to, pay attention to what you need and kind of provide you more value. So I can't necessarily know, what you're looking for. So I think that's been huge, is just that collaborative effort with partners. Because I don't know, you never know what ideas are out there until you kind of open up that, those brainstorming sessions.
Yeah, and it leads to some co-branded opportunities from a marketing perspective where you can leverage someone else's network and they can leverage yours. And again, it's another win-win when you're not only creating a partnership, but you're also marketing it really well and finding opportunities for their network to learn about your company and for your network to learn about their company. And it goes both ways. So I think, like you said, stop and listening and kind of have that collaborative spirit about, hey, here's some of our ideas. What are some of your ideas? And let's come up with something really big. To me, that's huge when you start to see some companies that are doing co-branded marketing stuff. In fact, shameless plug, doing a little co-branded marketing tomorrow with the Freight Coach Morning Show right here on Standing Out at 10:30 tomorrow. So make sure you come back and you can see Chris Jolly and I having some fun with some co-branding and networking together as well. He's a great friend of mine, and we're not official partners, but we might as well be. We're pushing each other's stuff like crazy. So it matters when you're doing that and you're working together from a marketing perspective, which is really, really helpful, which is awesome. So at Ruby now, you are focused on small businesses and focused on that. What are some of the takeaways that you've kind of taken from working with these small businesses? Because I mean, DAT was a conglomerate. It's huge, right? It's a big company. And now you're focused on small companies. What's kind of been that transition like? What have you learned working with these small companies, and how has that helped you with your current role?
Well, I think honestly, when I was at DAT, I was so attracted to the small businesses in that world, working with the owner operators and working in the world of small trucking companies. I loved that. I think that was my biggest, that was like the biggest draw for me. And I think once you're in the trucking industry, I think always connected to the trucking industry. I don't think I'll ever, you kick it out. And I really do. And I think, and that's just one of those things that I loved. I loved working with, a lot of our partners that we worked with who owned and operated their own trucking business. I was so amazed and impressed just with these amazing women and men, like just driving across the country all the time, doing their own, unloading, offloading, all the business aspect. They're doing everything. They're doing all of it. And it blew me away. And so I think it's just kind of stayed. So I think I still was involved in kind of the small business side, even though it was a large company. We worked with everybody. I think I was just really drawn to that side where it's just, that was kind of the most attractive thing to me, was just that amazing work ethic and drive from a business standpoint, that they could run their own trucking company, all by themselves with all of the, the complications and things that go with that. So I think looking now at all, we have so many industries where Ruby works with all sorts of different industries, from legal to healthcare to home contractors to now, trucking, to anyone who, offers, who is a service-based business, who really has that inbound calling, that anyone who needs that live chat services. So we come in and we really handle, those communication needs for them. So I think that's fun to see how we can help build their businesses, because it's fun to see who signs up with Ruby. There's so many amazing creative small businesses out there, and it's interesting to see what people are doing. And so we have all sorts of different businesses, and even with education, we just have all the industries. So I'm really excited to kind of learn more about that. So
yeah, and I can hear your passion for working with small business, which is awesome. And one of the best things that a small business can do to get their name out there is to partner with somebody that's just a little more established than them, and get the value of that, get the benefit of that. So looking at partnerships, looking at networks, looking at co-branded marketing and things like that are all really valuable ways for a small business to gain some traction faster than they would organically or otherwise. So I love the fact that you're working with them and knocking that out of the park, which is really awesome. Now you're in Portland, Oregon, which I have to say, I love Portland, Oregon. We lived there for 5 years. When I worked at DAT with you, we're in the same office building over there in Beaverton, and loved Portland. It's getting a little bit of a bad name right now because of maybe what's happening downtown, but Portland itself is still just an absolutely beautiful place to live. What are some of your favorite things about Portland? What do you guys do as a family?
Well, and it's just so close to the mountain and to the ocean and to the rivers. So
And we should tell people how close. You're 45 minutes from a ski resort year round
I am.
and
Yeah,
about an hour and
exactly.
15 from the coast. I mean, it's
I
like
was
an
just talking
amazing place
about
to live.
how I went up to the mountain one time in July, and Shaun White was practicing. The half pipe was closed. Not that I'd really be on the half pipe myself, but I was up there. I was up there snowboarding in July, and they had it blocked off because Shaun White was practicing. But yeah, I love it. I love getting up to the mountain in the wintertime. Paddle boarding in the summertime. So we're almost to that point where we can get to the rivers and go paddleboarding, kayaking. So
That's
just
right. It's
all of
almost
those.
time.
Yes, yes, hiking and camping and all of the kind of things that you do when you're in the Pacific Northwest, we love to
Yeah.
do. So
What's amazing about it, because I'm from the Midwest and a lot of people that are on the call are from the Midwest or the East or the South. And, for most of us, we have humidity in the summer, which is terrible. And we have dryness, no humidity in the winter, which is like scratchy, itchy, uncomfortable. But in Portland, it's reversed for everybody. It's like amazing. In the winter, you get a little humidity, so it's not that bad. It's the cold doesn't feel
true.
as cold.
Yes,
And in the summer, you have no humidity. Like it was the perfect
that's
like
true.
weather climate. I loved it. We went camping 5 times a year every summer and didn't feel all hot and sticky. And the coast is beautiful. The waterfalls are amazing.
I
The
love
hiking
it.
trails are phenomenal. The ski resort right there. I mean, it's a hidden gem, no doubt, even with some of the
Really,
political
yeah.
stuff going on. It's really a hidden gem.
I know it's like we seem so far away from a lot of the country, especially with trucking. It's like it's so, it's definitely a most of kind of the East Coast or like, Midwest. But yeah, I love it. I love Portland. So it's fun.
Yeah, me too. We miss it like crazy. So it was a great place to be, that's for sure. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for being on the show. It has been so good
Thank
to talk to you and
you.
to hear your wisdom about channel marketing and just to connect again. It was
Yeah,
always a
this is
pleasure working
fun.
with you at DAT. I know that I remember back at DAT, if I walked past your desk, I knew I was going to get a smile. Like, you're just always so happy and joyous and very infectious in the office. So
Aw.
really appreciate you and the opportunity to hear more about channel marketing and help people out with
Yeah.
that. Everybody, if you want to follow Sarah Allen on LinkedIn, do that, connect with her. And go to ruby.com and see how they can help you out, which is tremendous. So absolutely awesome. Well, before I let you go, we're going to just do a really quick promo for this show a little bit and what we're doing here. I want to remind you guys to come to Iron Minds on Monday morning at 6 a.m. with my good friend Hayden Allred. We've got an announcement to make. Very excited about that. It's 6 a.m. every Monday right here on LinkedIn, live, YouTube, Twitter. We do a workout, but we also talk about inspiration and things like that. So get up with us, get inspired, get motivated, get a few push-ups in, get your week started off really right. So we're excited about that. And tomorrow, make sure you come back at 10:30 for the show with Chris Jolly, aka the Freight Coach. We're gonna have a great time with the kind of co-branded nature of our show. We're gonna share the stage. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure you come back for that, and come back every weekday at 10:30 for an episode of Standing Out, a daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. Sarah, I hope that you'll come back and join us again. This would be great
Yeah,
to.
this is so fun. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely awesome. Make sure you got 2 daughters, right?
I do.
I know.
Sasha and
That's
Lucy.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Dads of girls, moms of girls. It's the way to go. I always hear that real men
Nice.
have girls. So you need to get your husband some gear from dads of girls of girls.
Yes,
So
I love that. I'll
awesome,
check it out for
awesome
sure.
stuff. Yeah, very cool. If you use the coupon code WOTS, or no. Sorry, what is it? Word on the street. If you use the coupon code Word on the Street, you get 10% off. And that goes for everybody. Use the coupon code Word on the Street for 10% off. I got a coupon code with those guys. It's so cool. Anyways, Sarah, thanks so much. Great to talk to you. For everybody watch, thank you so much. Thanks for the interaction. Good to see everybody on the show today. And we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow for another episode of Standing Out, daily podcast about sales, marketing, leadership, powered by Beta Consulting Group. And shout out to our sponsor, TAFS. Check those guys out at TAFS.com. We'll see you guys tomorrow.